Hello, Talkin' Fight fans around the world. Thank you once again for joining us for another episode of Neil the Deal with Neil the Deal himself. Tonight, a little bit of a twist. We're going to have a little bit of a chit chat about an upcoming fight between Canelo Álvarez and Billy Joe Saunders. Neil and I had a really good discussion earlier today about who's going to win. We both kind of agree. But let me bring up a couple of points, and then you can have your say. With respect to Billy Joe Saunders, he's big, he's bold. Okay, he's got that pressure that he felt at the Olympics that he says is going to help him when he goes into Arlington. 70,000 people mostly going to be screaming on behalf of Canelo Alvarez. Texas is a pretty Spanish heavy state. And, but he's ready for that pressure. But he's big, he's bold, he says, and he's ready. Okay. He's also elusive. He won that PR battle to get the ring increase in size. So he's got a bit of a, I would say, defensive advantage, if you will. Yeah, I don't think he's going to stand toe to toe like Alvarez's last couple of opponents tried, and failed. So there is that off chance that Billy Joe Saunders can pull off a victory, not by going the distance, by being defensive, being elusive, being smart, and as they say in baseball, playing that perfect game. He needs to pitch a perfect game. If he was a pitch, that's what he needs to do. If he can play his cards right in this one, he might be able to win. But as you and I agreed, you know, I'm okay. This is what I think. Then you can say what you think, and then I'll shut up. I think Canelo's gonna. I think Canelo's gonna deliver, not necessarily that big power punch to the head, out like a light. I think he's gonna deliver a liver punch, somewhere in that 6, 7, 8 round, after a great tete-a-tete beginning first few rounds. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think body punch. It's going to cripple Saunders. That's what I think is going to happen.
Right on, Graham. I'm impressed. That was pretty good. I like that.
All right.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for coming out, talking fight fans. That was Big Graham with his prediction on the. Yep, we're talking about the Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders fight. That was interesting. I didn't think you were going to go that long with that, but anyways, I don't know whatever else you're going to say, but hey, yeah, it's probably the most anticipated fight of the year to date, eh, Graham?
Yep.
And I've been looking forward to it for quite a number of months now. There's been a lot of hype about it, as we all know. And yeah, it's one day away, guys. So it is tomorrow night, May 8th, in, like you were saying, Arlington, Texas. I believe that's Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And yes, I heard that they broke the attendance record for a boxing match. Tickets sold 70,000 for this fight. Holy man. Broke the old record, Muhammad Ali, Leon Spinks, 63,000. So that's unbelievable when you think about it, that 70,000 people are going to be packed into that stadium to watch that fight. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, we got two big time combatants going at each other. We have one Mexican in Alvarez, and we have one British fighter in Billy Joe Saunders. And honestly, I like both the fighters. I really do. As fighters, I like them. They're both pretty. Obviously, Canelo has been known to be the world's best pound for pound fighter, probably number one rated fighter in the world right now. He's basically won every title that he's ever, fought for. And Billy Joe Saunders is an English fighter who has the WBO belt right now, and he's been training really hard. I understand, and he looks really good, But when this fight goes on, I think it's going to go. My prediction, Graham, is going to be a little bit like this. Because Billy Joe Saunders is a southpaw, of course, he has a little bit of an awkward style. All right, Alvarez in the past has been known to have a little bit of a problem with southpaws, like some of the guys do, right? But he's saying, working on that over the last few years, and he's going to show you what he's made of on Saturday, as far as that. So he's saying that shouldn't really be an issue. But I think in the first few rounds of this fight, Graham, that will be a bit of an issue. It'll take Alvarez a little bit of time to kind of get into the fight, so to speak, and then figure out a game plan from there, how Billy Joe's going to go about it. I think Billy Joe's the best thing that I think that he could do, guys, would be to stick in there, use his jab. You know what I mean, Graham? Keep Alvarez off him. If Alvarez gets in there, as you had said, and starts throwing those heavy duty body shots by the 7th, 8th, 9th round, that's going to really like tell the tale. It's going to really hurt Billy Joe Saunders with the body shots. He's got to use the ring to his advantage, right? He's got to use his movement to his advantage. He moves not great, but he can get around. And Alvarez, he doesn't have great movement either. Has good head movement and that sort of stuff. But if Billy Joe can kind of keep him at bay and then kind of trap him, I guess you would say, kind of trap him into doing maybe getting overzealous and stuff like that and counterpunching, stuff of that sort, you know, building up the points so that later in the fight, you know, Alvarez, if he gets his way with you, which he normally does with most fighters, right? And you let him come in there and just beat your body to pieces, then I think Saunders is going to have a really, really hard time winning this fight. But hey, it's a boxing match bout, and anything can happen. There's always that lucky punch, as we all know. But like I say, Saunders, he's a two-time divisional champion. He's a world champion now, so he's definitely deserves where he is. And he's got a huge crowd. Although I understand it's a home crowd for Canelo. Even at the I was reading today about the weigh-in where there were 5,000 people at the weigh-in, and soon as Canelo, soon as Saunders came out, just everybody was booing. Like they were booing the poor guy. And then Canelo comes out and they're just cheering like crazy for Canelo, right? So like you had mentioned, I guess there's a big Mexican contingency in Texas and a lot of fans down there for Canelo. But this fight's going to be really interesting any way you slice it, Graham? Like Canelo's a big puncher. We've all seen him fight. He's, like I say, he's probably the best fighter in the world right now, all around. He's been getting better. That new trainer that he's got, Eddie Reynoso, has been doing magic with him, and it should be a really exciting fight. Like I say, I think it's going to take Canelo a couple of rounds, and then he's going to sort of take over the fight. And let's hope that Saunders can just stay in there. That's what I think he's got to do. Is he's got to stay in there and hope that he can, just throw combinations when he kind of traps Canelo. You know, Canelo comes in, he's got to kind of back up, move, a lot of movement, get out of the way, and throw his combinations and try to throw body shots himself. Obviously, you know what I mean. So, what are you thinking, Graham? You thinking he's got a chance, Billy Joe?
Well, yes, I said at the outset, I think he has a chance, and that's if he plays the perfect game. But it's not a game. Realistically, if he leaves it in the hands of the judges, that is Billy Joe Saunders, he's going to lose. He's now, can he knock out Canelo? That's the interesting equation. Again, as you said, it comes down to that lucky punch, and we've seen it in many fights over the past 30, 40 years, personally. Yeah. That one lucky punch you never expected, and all of a sudden the champ goes down. And this is, and at the end of the day, this is a true championship fight. There's a lot on the table for both of them. So it's not just the pressure of the crowd, but there's the pressure of the industry facing them as well. Both want to fight for both of their reasons. So it's good for us fans. It's going to be a great, great fight. It is. But anything can happen in a fight. So
that's right.
The odds makers are supporting Canelo all the way, no doubt about it. We like Canelo, but do we think Billy Joe Saunders has a chance? Yep, absolutely. And all he needs is that one lucky punch, and maybe a quick combo, and boom, he could do some damage. But does he get that chance to deliver those blows? That's the question. But he does have some advantages. Like you said, he's got the bigger ring. He is elusive. He's a good defender. He's not going to stand toe to toe. Right. So It's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. Who's going to win? Flip of the coin. But if it goes a distance, I think Canelo will win, hands down. Canelo, if I'm the pick, if I'm looking at my crystal ball, like you, I would say late rounds, body punch, boom, down goes Saunders. That's what I predict if I'm looking him in my crystal ball.
Right.
That's what I think will happen.
Well, there's a lot of guys out there that are thinking the same way. I'm thinking too that I don't think Saunders is going to get knocked out early by any means. I think he's a well-rounded enough fighter to stick in there at least 8-9 rounds. But it's going to all depend on what happens in those first 6-7 rounds. If he gets those body shots that are going to hurt him, if Canelo can connect with those kind of devastating body punches and combinations that he's known for, and I mean he's got power in both hands, So, but Saunders, like I said, he does have he's a decent fighter. There's no doubt about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
He's no slouch by any means. Tyson Fury loves him. He's over there in Dallas, Texas, right in there in the corner with him. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury's with him. He's got all of England with him, obviously. It'd be just amazing if he could pull this off over in the States there. But it's gonna be a hell of a fight. I really think that it's gonna go either right, like you said, 11th, 10th, 11th round, maybe even a decision. But I'm liking Canelo any way you slice it in this one. I think Billy Joe, he hasn't really fought the competition of Canelo over the years that he's been fighting. Canelo's like a pretty big step up for him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Canelo's basically fought everybody. I mean, he only has the one loss, and that was to like Floyd Mayweather Jr. or something like in 2013 or something. So, I mean, he's had a couple of just kind of iffies, like in the last couple of years where it's like, he got the benefit of the doubt. But in this one, I think it is going to be a really good fight, though. I do believe that Saunders is going to give him a real good go, and and like I say, it's gonna all depend on if he can keep him off him, so to speak, use his jab really well, combinations, try to move and bob and weave and stuff of that sort, get in and out, and hope for a lucky shot. Really, hope for a really lucky shot, and then jump on him. That's what I think that Saunders is going to have to do to win the fight. I don't, like you said, I don't think he's going to win in a unanimous decision situation over Canelo. I just don't think so, because Canelo throws so many more punches per round too. You got to remember that it's Canelo throws a lot of punches. Yep. He's right up there in the top 5 right now of most punches per round, so to speak. And I believe Saunders is not very good in punches per round. So he's got to use what he's got and try to stick in there. You know what I mean, Graham?
Yeah, without a doubt. It's going to be a great fight, and I'm really looking forward to it. There's not much more we can say. I mean, it's a bloody coin toss, if you ask me, with the 2 exceptions. Lucky shot, and if it goes the distance, it's in Canelo's favor. Yeah,
well, that's it. I mean, that's all. That's all. The only way I can see it going. Like I don't see it being a knockout, right? 2nd or 3rd round. I mean, anything can happen, but I think that Saunders is going to really. He's gonna hold his own, no doubt about it. He's going to hold his own, at least for the majority of the fight. That's what I think. And then we'll see what happens, guys. Check it out. It's on DAZN, Graham, tomorrow night, 9 p.m.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of fights, undercard fights on that as well. So they probably won't be going on until something like 11 o'clock or 10, 11 o'clock or something at night. But 70,000 people. That's
I wouldn't want to be in that back row, I'll tell you. That's
yeah, really, eh?
Yeah, what are you going to be seeing?
It's going to be
two little ants down there doing this.
Well, that's it. Yeah,
I think there's a lot to be said with respect to pay-per-view. You're sitting in the comfort of your own home, watching on a big screen. There's something to be said about that, as opposed to that oh, I got a ticket to, unless you want to be one of those guys who says,
Oh, I was there.
I was there.
Yeah. No, exactly. Well,
All right,
hopefully,
Neil. Hey,
like I said, yeah, hopefully everything works out for them. They all get home safe, so to speak. Anything can happen. It is a boxing match. But
yep.
thanks a lot, guys, for coming out and checking out our little talk about the Canelo Billy Joe Saunders fight tomorrow night, May 8th at AT&T Stadium there in Dallas, Texas, and we're going to be watching it on DAZN. So if you guys want, check it out on DAZN, and it should be a barn burner. That's what I think. It should be a really good fight. I've been looking forward to it for quite some time. So take care. Thanks, Graham, for having me out tonight. Appreciate it. And it was a great convo about the fight. I like it. It's awesome.
Cheers.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good
Have a good
evening.
weekend.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend, guys. Be safe.